Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play on the internet. We are continuing on with episode 63 of our Megadungeon crawl through the halls of Arden Vul by Richard Barton using heavily modified version of the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. My name is John. I am your referee for the evening, and going around the horn we have tonight.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Lothar, the second level and soon to be third level cleric of Odin.
Normally we would have David. He is dead to us tonight. He would normally be playing Misophase, the third level magic user.
My name's Matt. I play Avaricios of Epirenos, the sixth, soon to be seventh, cleric of Lycion.
Hi everybody, I'm Ted. I play Mortis J. Gobliano, level 6 goblin. And if you ever had any doubts about my commitment to goblinism, my Gary Con souvenir. All right, everybody, there you go.
It's a dice goblin bag for those listeners out there. So yeah, we just got back from GaryCon last week. That's why there was no episode last week. We had a fantastic time, primarily because we got to see each other in the flesh for the first time as a group, which was amazing, and we had a fantastic time. But in addition, we met a whole bunch of community members out there, and thank you to everyone who came up to us and said hi to us and chatted with us and had a meal with us or a drink. It was an amazing time, and the outpouring of support was just top notch. We wanted to give special shout outs to three people who were actually in both of my games and who we spent a lot of time with. That would be one of the Matts, Matt Young, Matt, Sean, and Lauren were all just a joy to hang out with for quite some time at the con. And I am using a lovely advanced mechanical pencil that Sean and Lauren got me as my official pencil for the campaign moving forward. So thank you guys for gifting us that. That was pretty awesome of you. All right, so let us dive back into the halls of Arden Vul. It is the 6th of Jelenios. It's approximately 8 a.m. after you guys have rested in front of the giant cook fire down on the Goblin Halls after sealing your alliance with the great King Weskinum of the United Goblin Tribes. So you got a bunch of stuff, like all your rewards paid off after handing him that massive tribute. You've been awarded passports to the court of the Troll Thane, a set of bronze tiles. You got a full set of teleportation tiles, which is amazing. And perhaps even better, is that you have been given private quarters in the Goblin Halls, and so you have achieved safe haven status here. And that has basically, we've decided to sort of link that up between the Goblin Halls proper, which is where you are, with the wet caves where Killick resides, and then further on up all the way into the debouchement, all counts as basically a safe haven, as long as you maintain that very, very tight alliance with the goblins, and as long as the goblins themselves maintain control of those areas. You've discovered the ultimate fate of Phlebotomus Plumthorn. He is chained to a wall outside the king's chambers. The king himself has told you that he has two primary things that are concerning him right now. Right now, he really wants to find the Goblin Scepter, which will legitimize his claim to the throne. He never thought that he would have to legitimize it, but an upstart mystic known as Gislu of the Black Snot tribe has been rallying their fellow tribe clan members against the king, saying that he is not a true king unless he has the scepter. Unfortunately, no one knows what the scepter looks like. Gislu has since been exiled, and they would like the king would very much like you to find their whereabouts and perhaps do something about them. I need to make a correction, though. I mistakenly told you that the last place that he was rumored to be in was the court of the Troll Thane. That is not true. So it's very important to understand. The last place he was known to be seen was at the Forum of Set. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, big improvement.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing too is that the Beastmen worry him greatly. But you discovered a kind of a secret thing about the king is that he actually secretly admires them, and that he would be willing to negotiate terms for the sharing of power on the Halls of Thoth level, the Debouche level, if it comes to that. But he would like you guys to be ambassadors, and he's told you to go, if you can, find the person who's sort of really in charge of the Beastmen, a dog man known as Count Scleros. So those are the two things that he greatly desires of you. You also met
and the scepter itself, if we can find it, right?
Yes, the scepter itself. Yeah. So you had found out that Harub and his band had been sent by the king to that area because there was a rumor that the scepter was going to be in that area around the Beastmen precincts. Harub never, because of the fear thing, was never able to actually accomplish that mission. So the scepter is still in the wild, if it exists at all. And and then you had briefly talked before meeting with the king. You had talked to your second Sunscarred Knight that you've met. This is Sir Sorrow. And I also misspoke and said that the woman that was attending her was a valet. It's actually a varlet is the actual term. Not in the negative sense, but not a valet.
What's
Not a
the
valet.
difference?
Yeah, please elucidate.
Ed?
Well, a valet is a body servant, and a varlet is, if I'm not mistaken, someone who is obligated under the laws of feudalism to serve a lord simply by having been born in the lands of that lord. And I think it's odd that a varlet would be armored and armed and in the but maybe things are different here.
Yes,
but yeah,
this is Fantasyland. Yes.
Yeah.
Ed, for extra credit, what is a dog robber?
This just like we're devolving into trivia now.
Where are you going with this, Mike?
Yeah, Mike, how many points does he get for this?
Today, I came across it in a book today. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I guess you don't. Never mind. Let's just.
I don't know dog robber.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to this happened actually a couple of nights ago, but I just wanted to bring it up so you're aware. Just the stakes of things that the midnight deadline to bring the golden rod to Kraz at the Statue of Vul, that passed.
Oh yeah.
Just so you're aware.
I'm sure it's fine.
Sorry, Cat Dragon.
Maybe we could file for some kind of extension or something.
Yeah. So there was like you screwed up the take of the vault hoard, right? But that could nominally be sort of like, well, we didn't know anything about it, like whatever, This one though, you had said like we would be there with the rod, and you have missed that date, so you have officially betrayed Kraz. Okay, so first things first is that you guys have actually rested. So you wake up the next morning, and you are going to get the hit of XP that you got from last session. And in addition, we also rolled in some of the Solidai that was actually kept in the pyramid. Now also gets converted into XP because the pyramid is now considered to be the safe haven. So there are some scattering of actual like objet d'art and gems in that vault as well, but we're foregoing that now until we actually get the books sort of made up for that. But we'll tack that on later. But the Solidai is where the big money comes from. So we calculated out how much XP they gained, and we decided to give the Solidai that is kept in the debouchement. That particular amount is going to go to the party that actually brought it there, the party members that actually executed the heist. So those are going to be Darius, Misophase, Avaricios, and Mort, and the retainers would be Elizabeth and Yost. So with that additional XP, that brings Darius is now leveled up to level 5. And Avaricios finally, after long last, has finally gotten enough to raise up to level 7, which is huge, huge for clerics because they finally access the highest level of spells in OSC, 5th level, which is amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to level up Avaricios and Darius. So let's do Darius first. Do you have Darius' character sheet, Mike?
I do. I have it right here. I roll a d4. Now I think John at 5th level. I go up to the next tier, correct?
Yes, you do. Oh, yes, indeed. Big one for you.
Okay, so first I'll roll hit points.
So D4 for hit points.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
A 2 is what I rolled, and he has a +1 for his con. It's his only positive modifier.
All right.
So he now has a grand total of 21 hit points.
Great. So your attack bonus goes up to +2 from 0, which is great, and your damage die also increases from a D4 to a D6, which is pretty sweet. And then all of your saves, change. You're gonna have to look at the chart. But
I'll look it up.
yeah. And you also get, what did I rule for assassins for skills?
I do not get a pip at 5th.
No pivots at 5th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you want to change that and give me a pip at 5th.
Afraid not.
Bastard.
Okay, cool. Anything else happen at 5th for you? No.
I don't believe so, unless unless the penalty for people saving versus my poison goes up or something like that.
No, it's just a flat -2, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it might have changed at higher levels.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome.
I'm just gonna go grab my book. I'll be right back.
All right. And now, Avaricios.
Yes.
You are now level
John?
7. So,
Oh, it feels good.
so roll those hit points.
Okay.
D6.
He has a -1 con modifier, so we're going to roll really high.
Okay.
This is going to be great. Oh, that's 4.
4. All right.
So I will take 3 additional hit points.
All right. How many do you have
Which will
total
bring his maximum to 20.
now? All right.
Take
Dude,
that.
you've got less hit points
negative
than the
con.
assassin.
Okay. So your attack
that-
bonus and saving
it's
throws
just-
stay the same. You're still in the same tier. However, your
Mm-hmm.
you do gain, let's see, you gain your first 5th level spell, which is huge. And you gain
I do,
1
and an
additional
extra-
3rd. Yeah.
And what's lovely is, and this has got to be like just the most exciting thing that can happen to a cleric ever, because at this point in his development, he actually gets God's phone number.
Yes. Yep.
And he's going to drunk dial it for sure.
So he gets access to the spell Commune, which is a direct communication with Lysion himself, which is pretty cool.
Who's
Which means
drunk, right? So
probably.
non-reliable.
Yeah.
And we can't forget too that of course every level your turning ability goes up as well. So
Yeah, it's pretty good now.
yeah, you're pretty.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the spells that Avaricios prays for this morning after waking up from the
Okay,
cookfire?
so he is going to 1 casting of Cure Light Wounds, 1 casting of Detect Magic. Sure, why not? 1 casting of Speak with Animals, 1 casting of Silence, 2 castings of Locate Object for his 2 level 3 spells, Sticks to Snakes for level 4, and for level 5, he will take Commune.
Commune. Okay. Very good. All right. So you're feeling great in the morning. Yeah, Mike.
Oh no. So I just want to say that yes, the penalty for people to save versus death when I assassinate them goes up they now take a -1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. But you're playing Brother Lothar tonight.
I am.
So just to be clear. So Lothar and Misophase are both in XP waste territory. They have enough XP to actually jump multiple levels. So we're using my basic sort of rule where you have to play 1 session at the level that you would nominally skip before you would immediately bump up to the next level. So when Lothar woke up the next morning, he would have been level 2. So now Mike has to play this character at level 2 for an entire session. And then he has enough XP to immediately bump to level 3. So as long as he gets through this session alive, he will immediately ratchet up to level 3 for next session. Same thing with Misophase, except it's playing at 3, then moving to 4. Okay.
What do you mean make it to the session alive?
Yeah. Well,
What-
Yeah.
it's a thing in this campaign.
I should add for the viewers that both Yost and Gangrene also leveled up, but we took care of that off camera.
Right. So, So right now, the 2 retainers with you are Gangrene and Njal, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Okay. So, all right. So that's the deal. I think we're all caught up with logistics. So now you guys wake up 8 o'clock in the morning next to the cook fire. It's a relatively sleepy scene as you kind of get up because even though the sun isn't around, a lot of the visitors and stuff still maintain that sort of schedule, just like you do. But there's a couple of goblins moving around. Some people cooking breakfast over the fire. The ogres are sleepily watching over everything. You can hear the sound of goats. The little albino lizards are crawling all around the place. And you can hear off in the southeast, you can hear the market being set up and the awnings being unrolled, goods being put out and things like that. And you can hear over top of it the sound of Master Life Cream, the halfling, kind of directing traffic in that area. What do you do?
Two things. One, I would like to say that I looked up varlet, and it turns out it's the same thing as valet, just in Old Middle English. I was wrong with my definition before. It's a body servant.
Ooh,
There you go.
Yeah,
that's gotta hurt.
that's okay. I don't speak Old Middle English.
Did you
And
look up
two
dog
more-
robber?
What's that?
Did you look
No,
up
I didn't
dog
look
robber?
up dog robber because you made that shit up.
I did.
Okay, so what do you do when you wake up?
Mort wants to go shopping. He's got a short shopping list. He wants to buy some basic supplies and a shiny new garrote for gangrene.
Oh yeah, Avaricios is all over that too. He, he's been looking for a good weapon that he can get without just outright murdering someone, and this seems like a good place to do that. Now he will say that, all right, guys, we're going to go deal with some goblins. I think they're looking at this with a positive light, but we're still negotiating for prices here. I think maybe what we want to do is look at things first, see what we're interested in. If they claim anything is magical, maybe we take them at their word at first, but once we see everything they've got, I can have a little spell, we can confirm whether or not things are magical, right? You know what I mean? Just
Do they
to make
sell
sure we're
magic stuff
getting a
here?
good deal. Well, we don't know, but let's see what they claim.
All right.
Can I just interject here? Since I'm
Okay.
just here and it's me and you two, can we maybe set a time limit on the shopping expedition? Can we start a clock or something?
I don't. All I need to do is say, John says, yes, you can buy basic supplies. I say it cost me 55 gold pieces, and I write it down and I'm done.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
cool, John?
So if the total of the normal thing is 55, it's going to actually be, let's see, times what? Yeah. 82,
charging
83 gold pieces.
Those swine. I don't care. I'll pay it.
Okay.
Oop. Minus 83. Okay. I just took that out of the party coffer, which currently has more than 1,000 gold in it. So
All right. Anything else?
not for Mort.
Okay. I'll make this painless, Mike, as painless as I can. There were a couple of people a couple of stalls that you mentioned that were dealing in melee weapons. Life Cream and Claudine both carried those. And so, A, do they have anything that Avaricios could use? And B, are any of them super nice or claiming to be magical?
No, they do have weapons that you can use,
Okay.
but nothing that's magical.
Nothing that's not okay. So he would just get from them a regular warhammer then, because he does not have one. He had to drop it for carrying coins before, so he'll buy a warhammer, and
That will cost you 8.
8.
Mhm.
I can swing this. It looks nice, no problem. I will not even bargain with you. The other thing, as he is close to his god, a god of joyous interactions and libations, he wants to go visit. What was his name? Jobim, and see what kind of brews he has, and if there's anything that can further his god's work on this earth.
So Jobim is a goblin brewer. He's kind of like an easily distracted, sort of absent-minded professor sort of type, kind of the vibe that he gives off. He has a number of interesting libations that you have never seen before. So he has a mushroom ale, a lichen ale, a purple wax lager, which gives an imported brandy from outside in the Empire. And yeah, he has a number of like tonics and things like that as well.
Does anything seem to promise health or regeneration? I'm not talking about a hand, but like health benefits.
He actually does have, when you ask him about that specifically, he's like, I don't have any sort of libations that do that. However, there are a few adventurers who have traded me for some of these potions, he says, and he has 2 potions of healing, which he will sell to you for 200 gold each.
Buy it.
Yeah.
That seems absolutely worth it. We will definitely buy those
potions. I'm writing that down. 200 each, you said?
Yes. He looks at you guys slyly too whenever you come over, especially at you, Frederivers, and he says, are you the ones, he says quietly and conspiratorially, are you the ones that ridded us of the halflings above?
Yes. I mean, those guys were real dicks, and we had no choice in the matter, really, but that was us, yeah.
He smiles at you, and he pulls up a vial from underneath the counter that wasn't on display. And he says, this is on the house, he says. And he pushes a vial towards you.
Oh,
you'll find this.
Does it look familiar?
He says, you'll find this quite useful, I think. It'll help you in times of need. And he kind of pushes it towards you, and it sort of has like a reddish liquid in it. However, the vial itself, the actual container, you recognize. It looks to be the same vial that Blondveg was using to put mortality poison in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've definitely we've used mortality before. Does it look the same in the jar? If we unstopper it, does it smell the same?
Do you do that in front of him?
Do it.
Sure. Yeah.
So it doesn't smell bad, but there's something seems to be off about it. It definitely doesn't look or smell like mortality, but it just has like a rather off-putting smell.
Okay. So
I mean,
this seems like something that would be harmful to others as opposed to beneficial for us to take. That's the smell I'm getting, right?
Yeah, I mean, what is it, man? Like,
use it.
Are we all there, Av, or did you go off on your own?
Oh yeah, you're all there.
He says, use it in times of need, he says, and he says slyly and kind of puts a finger aside his nose. I say no more. And he kind of backs away.
Need like we are in dire straits, or need like I really need this guy to die?
He's trying to be sly and cool, and you digging at him just kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, thanks, Ted.
Oh, Ted. The suburban dad of AV Club.
Yeah, okay. I look at him.
The other guy in the room with the beard and the hat.
Yeah, I say, okay, we got you. I get it. Yeah, we're down with this.
Yeah, we're cool. Really get it. We're cool, bro.
Not really down with it. Yeah, it's like he is.
All right. Anything else?
He's actually got poisons.
Well, I mean, you're there too. Yeah.
Yeah, but Darius is not. All right, whatever. Lothar is just like.
Oh, Darius isn't. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So
we ask, do you have any,
Darius can be cool.
Things?
So he looks at you slyly again, and he says, "Well, if you let those poor bastards live, we'd probably have a much greater supply of poison than I normally do. I have one or two though that may find useful." Who are you planning on poisoning?
Nobody in particular at the moment, but it's always good to be prepared. And it's not something that I do myself, but I know a guy.
No guy. I don't know, man. I don't think you're any more charming than I am.
So, what?
I mean, if he'll sell you a poison, buy a poison, Mike. We can afford it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How much do you want?
300 for a vial. He has 2
vials of what kind of poison, John? Is it like ingestible or weapon poison?
It'll be ingestible. It's a paralytic.
Okay. Just one, guys. Just do ingestible. Like, I mean, weapon poison would obviously be like, that would be the G sauce. Yeah, just get one. You never know when that will come in handy.
Okay, I've recorded it.
If you, he tells you, he says, thank you very kindly for your business. I wasn't expecting this. He says, if you, on your travels, you ever come across any sort of odd fungi, any sort of ingredients that you think may be useful in a potions, or strange monster parts, which I would also serve as good ingredients, I would be happy to take them off your hands and trade with you for perhaps some other goods.
Don't we have monster parts, Ted?
Not currently. We were all pretty hungry.
Also, how much for the booze?
What do you? It's all like pretty cheap.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna take one of each. Then the mushroom stuff, the lichen ale, the wax, the purple lager, the brandy.
Okay, so
I mean, these are religious materials. It's important.
We'll round it up to 8 gold for like one serving of each.
Absolutely. That way, we'll get a little sampler.
Yeah, most of that is going towards the brandy, which is extremely rare and imported. The rest has all been brewed like down here in the halls.
Okay.
So, what was I going to say? Master Life Cream. I can't remember what voice I did for him, but whatever. He's the halfling, right? So you should be aware that as you're kind of dealing with Joe Beam and the other merchants are sort of getting set up and you're doing all your business, that it appears that Life Cream himself has access to the left and like against the southern wall, just to the left of where their stalls are. There's a large door that is where is it here? Hold on.
Oh, I need to find my map of the.
It doesn't really matter, but hold on.
On the map, it looks like
he's near the door that we call the heavy trade route.
No, hold on. It's to the left, to the west of the merchant's thing. So, there's a wooden door there that's actually in excellent repair, and it's locked at all times. And you see that Life Cream seems to have the only key as he accesses it and allows some of the merchant stall owners to actually go into that door, and they come out with their wares. So this appears to be the vault storage that they were saying that you could safely store anything that you wanted to. So Life Cream is sort of like the master of the merchant's quarter, and he allows access and basically like leases out each of these stalls. He himself sits at a desk. Yeah, it's an ebon wood desk, so like a black desk, big and beautiful. And it's right next to that door. That's where he kind of carries out his business.
Yeah, okay. I think we're done with the Joe Beam. Yeah, let's go talk to Life Cream. See what he's got going on over there.
Hello, masters. So good to see you again.
Hail and well, Ned. We've already talked to him, right?
You have, yeah, briefly.
Yeah. And let's see here. He's in charge of the market. He sells jewels, gems, weapons, and curios.
Indeed I do. Anything that interests you?
Well, we're always fascinated by interesting little curiosities. What have you got in store?
Oh, well, I have many things that may interest you. I assume from the rumors I've heard that you definitely have the coin to spare. Jewelry, of course. Many weapons have. He kind of puts an arm out. You can see that he's got a bunch of nice looking mundane gems as well. I have a couple of interesting things that may spark your interest. Perhaps this little sapphire here. See, look the way it catches the light, and you see that it's a. Let's see here. I gotta look it up. Hold on. So it is a sapphire, but it is carved to look like an eye, like a human eye. Give me a second. Probably give you a little bit more information here.
That's kind of neat.
It's beautiful.
Qualifies as a curio for sure.
Yeah, so it has like lashes, a pupil, and an iris that are incised onto the surface itself. And that is sapphire. Now, I can't remember exactly what it looked like in the other place that you've seen it, but you definitely recognize this as one of the eyes that was in one of the sculptures incised into the blue pillar.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
He has a pack of old Arcantian tarot cards. And let's see, what else does he have here? He has a small pebble. And he tells you, he said, this is, and you look at it and you're like, great, what, you found that on a riverbed? Like, who cares? It's like a smooth little pebble. It's like, but it has interesting qualities, though. No matter where you put it, if you walk away, you'll find it back in your hand again after a number of minutes. If it was stolen, lost, whatever, it will always be with you.
That's kind of cool, but
Does that mean if we buy it, it'll just come back to you?
Huh?
What do you know? He's got you there, Master of Life Cream. It's the old homing pigeon trick.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for that one again.
Let's see.
Didn't you have something like that in Dolmenwood?
One of us did. I don't remember who.
Oh, it was like a curse thing. It would like reappear on your pillow every night.
Oh yeah, that was my character, wasn't it? Yeah, I had a little figurine that would always come back. I never managed to think of a useful use for it.
It is intriguing. Like, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any way to use this, but there's got to be some cool way, right?
I mean, you could try and trick very gullible people with it, I suppose, into thinking it was a magic rock, which it is, of course. But
yeah, absolutely a magic rock. What are you talking about?
I think we should buy that blue pillar eye.
Yeah, we should definitely buy the
Oh,
blue
absolutely. Absolutely. But we can't don't look too interested. We got to like, I've seen better eyes.
Like, oh, it's the eye. Oh my.
That guy over there has a ruby eye that's better.
In a pair of magical blunt weapons. That would be great.
Yeah.
So
We're double up on that need for magical blunt weapons.
I knew I should have started a timer on you two. I knew it.
It's
What
not
did I do?
This is great. I'm going to take it while we're still looking stuff up. I'm going to go tuck in that kid, and I'll be right back.
All right. Let's buy
the. How much does he want for the sapphire, John?
Hold on, because I don't want to lose my page here. The last thing that he has that's sort of interesting is a very strange thing. He has no idea what it is, but a random adventurer sold it to him. He thought it might have been valuable. It's a 6-inch long rod, and it's cut on the top and bottom to resemble a fish.
Does it look in any way the same kind of decoration as our giant fish water statue?
Not really, no.
Does it similar in diameter or heft, or not heft, I guess, because it's not made out of gold, but our gold rod, does it look connected with that anyway?
It's smaller than that, but does not look connected, no.
A fish rod. The wand of fish communication, the rod of cod, the
Turtle Slayer.
So
Sure.
the let's he wants 115 gold for the rod.
What about the eye?
So the eye, he considers he knows that it's magical and therefore priceless. So he's not really willing to take any money for it. However, he is a staunch supporter of the king, surprising for a halfling. And so he would be willing to trade substantial quantity of gems. He would be happy for any other magic items that you may have in trade. He's also looking for old but beautiful furniture that you may find that it's intact. And specifically because he's a staunch ally of the king, one or more cats would also be lovely.
Hey, Matt, get another cat out of that sack.
Like one cat gets the sapphire, or the cat needs to be part of the bargain.
It's whatever, I don't know, whatever you guys want to offer.
Ted,
Well-
do we have any magic items that are just kind of like wasting away without being used?
Yeah, but mostly because they haven't been identified. Hold on, let me see what I can come up with here. In the meantime, maybe Matt can come up with a cat.
Matt, he wants gems, cats, beautiful furniture, and magic items for the sapphire. You're muted.
Now it's better. Okay, no cats in the room today. It is a different day. I guess I could pull another cat out of the bag.
Well, I wonder though, like we don't know exactly how much he wants for it, so Ted's going through our magic item list right now to see if there's stuff in there.
Let's see. I'm looking through some stuff that he has of interest. Let's see. I don't want to give him. I have some keys. I don't want to give him.
Here's one we don't really use. We have 2 red arrows that we think are magic that we found in what's that?
Let's not give those away.
You use a
Give them
bow?
to somebody who uses a bow. Well, Darius
Nobody
does.
uses a bow. No one in our party has ever fired a bow, as far as I know.
Darius has a bow.
Okay. We've got some potions. There's the red dust wrapped in paper. We don't know what it is that we found in the officers' barracks.
Yeah, you know what? Let's not give away anything we don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, this
Yeah.
is really nice. I don't think this hasn't shown up as magical, but it's really nice. One of the daggers that we pulled out from that same area, it's that Trials of Arden area in the room.
Dagger?
Yeah, with the same. It was the same room where the finger was.
The statue room, the curved dagger.
Yeah. Which
We could
never
offer
think
that.
is magical. Yeah.
So you're
So
gonna
I
offer
wish or actually, Neil is takes that out. And
Okay. So
holds it
he's
out.
willing to
He's
take that.
interested.
He's happy to take that in trade. So you can take the eye.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
The
Give
last
him a
thing
cat too.
the last thing that he has is a very strange thing. He has no idea what it is, but when he pulls it out, he swears that he's seen something like it, but he can't quite place it. However, when you see it, you immediately draw the comparison. What he pulls out is what appears to be a 6-inch long and 2-inch wide rectangular piece of. You have no idea what the material is, but you as players would know it as plastic. Okay, a rectangle, and it is stamped with alien glyphs all over it, which you guys have recognized before, and it is orange. It is bright orange. What it reminds you of, not only of the rooms that you've been in before, however, is that it looks to be a smaller, much more sleekly designed version of the Troll Thane's passports. Right, the same sort of form factor.
John, when we were in the room where Mort got blown up, right, with the iris door and the robot on the other side, there was a panel.
There was.
There. Is
There
the
sure
size of this card similar to the shape of that
Yes.
panel in terms of like?
Yes, it was.
And
Okay.
we actually, at the Starship, we saw those access things as well, didn't we, John?
I believe you did, yeah.
Because I've forgotten about what Matt's talking about, but I was about to ask. Like, we saw the same kind of orange somewhere in the Starship, I think. So
Not orange, but you saw panels that likely a device like this would probably.
I think the
Pick
orange you're thinking of, Ted, with the uniforms around the death bot in the
You're right.
crater.
I am
True.
thinking the uniforms.
Orange jumpsuits, yeah.
Yeah, with the other one, you were blown up, so you have an excuse. That's all right.
Sure.
Um,
What do you
yeah,
want for
I
that live
think-
stream?
yeah, I think
That's
we're
neat.
interested in that. That looks really cool.
I never saw one of those before.
Well, if you don't have any furniture, I suppose you got any cats?
You know what? Actually, I might have one in my bag.
You do? Fantastic.
Let me check. And
You have a
then
tabby
continue with
specifically? He loves tabbies.
that. A tabby cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Male or female?
Doesn't matter. You pull out a tabby.
Okay. I pull out a tabby cat.
Okay, cool. So he's delighted. He says the king will be delighted, and that worthless piece of plastic is all yours.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let's go get spaceships, boys.
Yeah, our whole mission assignment just changed a lot.
I'm gonna say shopping took a half hour, so 3 turns have gone by.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
So you have been personally invited by Sir Sorrow to go speak with her in her chambers, and of course, there's any number of other NPCs that you are more than welcome to talk to if you like.
I like to go talk to Sir Sorrow. Let's go do that.
I would love to do that. I just want to. A thought occurred to me that I want to bring up. So, if we were to go searching for the scepter, which is actually, I'd rather go deal with the beastmen, but if we were to go searching for the scepter, I was wondering this Sir Gislu guy who's been rabble rousing with the Black Snot clan about the scepter. I was like, an opportunity sort of presents itself. We come back with the scepter, we give it to the king, and we don't create power struggles like we're used to doing. One idea is we go to them and we say, look, I've got the scepter. Will you support us in our bid to take over the Goblin Kingdom, start a Goblin Civil War? Could be fun. But what I was wondering is this Gislu guy, I have a feeling like when you start rabble rousing about the scepter, it's not because the king doesn't have the scepter. It's because you don't like the king. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, I just wanted to bring it up so I wasn't the only one thinking about it. Like, he could be an ally, but I have a feeling he would not be an ally. And the whole scepter thing, I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I
We
just
don't-
throw
we
out that for a little while at least, Ted, we have it pretty good with these goblins. So maybe before you start the coup,
I'm not starting a coup. I'm not starting
I
a
was going
coup.
to say we've had friends for 2 minutes. 2 minutes we've had friends.
He's
You're
Just like,
already
"Oh,
trying to
wait,
overthrow
wait,
the king. Like, I mean, okay, you're pretty. Don't worry. We love you, Ted.
he's
maybe-
just planting the seed. He's just
Yeah.
planting the seed.
Okay. You guys didn't understand at all what I was getting at. That's okay. Let's go ahead and go talk to Sir Sorrow.
I think the other aspect to that, besides your grab for power, is that no one really knows what the scepter looks like, right? So So
Yes,
part of the
that's true.
Or if
problem
it's
is,
real. Yeah.
yeah, part of the problem is that Gislu is just basically saying not a real king, doesn't have the scepter. Doesn't necessarily mean that Gislu has a scepter, but you're right. To your point, Gislu wants probably to be king, but I like the one we got. He likes cats.
He's
I like
all right. He, he's all right. I don't have any complaints about him right now. We might later. We don't show up with the scepter, for example. He will
He
not
doesn't
be
want
pleased.
the scepter. He would love to have the scepter, but no one really knows what the scepter is. His big concern is that Gislu knows what it looks like, so he can't just have a fake one made. So what he really wants us to do is go drop Gislu off like the crevasse and send him right to the bowels of hell. That's what he would really like
Right.
us to do.
But he also said that if you fail at that, I don't know you.
No, he's saying if we get caught. Like if we try to off Gislu
Yeah.
and the Black Snot clan takes us, then we don't work for him. He's never heard of us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're disavowed. We're
This
like, what is it? Mission Impossible?
Disavowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the way that's possible. The way I read it from John's description was like, come back with your shielder on it. Succeed
John, am
or
I
die.
reading wrong? Am I reading?
No, Mike
reading wrong?
is right. Basically, yeah. Like if
Oh, okay.
he's he doesn't want to overtly say it. He's just saying like if you guys screw up in your attempt, and you get put to the question by some other rival faction, he never knew you. Right. That's what he's
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got the distinct impression from your phrasing last time that if we came back without an alliance or without the scepter, fuck us.
I mean,
no,
that
no,
might always be implied a little bit, though, Ted. But
I mean, he's not going to
when
be
did we
happy
ever
if you
mess
make
up?
the attempt. If you make things worse for him, you know what I mean. But
Well, sure.
he's just more saying like if you get caught and questioned, no matter what you say, he's going to disavow all knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Just make sure it takes a few days. I can pull out a bunch of cats. We'll be good.
I think if we're going to do something active for the king, my preference would be maybe to work on the Beastman thing first.
That's what I would prefer to do also.
But I also kind of want to go to Plunger Town.
Well, before we get all into that, because we talked about going to Plunger Town next, but whatever. Let's go talk to Sir Sorrow.
Sure.
See what kind of information we can get from her, and see if that changes our perspective a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's go
All right.
talk to
So going to Sir Sorrow, yeah.
future ex-girlfriend.
As you start to head west, you can also hear behind you, coming from the eastern wall, you hear grunts of ogres and the squealing of gears as out of sight, but you can definitely hear like a large portcullis sort of raising towards the east, and a number of excited voices coming from that direction. It looks like the gates are being opened to the goblin halls for the day's business, a number of goblins are now kind of appearing from the clan caves that are dotted around the walls, and they're kind of coming out to the cook fire and to the fountain as well to bathe. It's kind of a disturbing sight. And you also know too that the far western side, like basically directly underneath where the court and the king's chambers are, so on your level, but somewhere in there is is where prisoners are kept. You were told too that that there are a couple of hapless folks down below. One of which apparently is a beast man. That's how it was brought up in conversation. Actually, now that I think about it, you're not heading west because in order to get back up to Sir Sorrow's bedchamber, you have to go up and around again. So you are going to be going up that northeastern spiral staircase and backtracking the way you came before. So you will be passing by the witch doctor's chambers, where Larkeem apparently is, and past that very strange room in the east with the marked pillars and the strange palpable evil coming from the east. So if you wanted to experiment there, you are going to be walking right through there again. Just let me know. Or are you going to go directly to Sir Sorrow?
Let's go see the Death Knight. Let's go see her.
Okay.
Sir Sorrow, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm still in for Sir Sorrow, yeah.
We should stop at the trampoline on the way, of course.
you do indeed have to go through the barracks. They recognize you again. The same people are there. So you go through those barracks with the trampoline and with the what did the other one have? Like an effigy or something that they were? No, they were like mummified beastmen. They were mummified beastmen that they were using for weapon practice in the other one. But eventually, yes, you come again past the crossbow emplacements, ballista emplacements, and into the southwest corner where there is that door that is shut in the southwest corner. Knock on it, I assume.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the door opens slightly, and you see the angry face of what you know is to be Huguette, who is the varlet. She's very tall, blonde hair and blue eyes, a very fiery temper, and she says, "Ah, it's you. Have you come to speak with her ladyship?"
We have.
Of course, we have. Yes. I'm sorry it took so long. We needed to rest a little bit, but I hope she's available to meet with us.
Very well. She is packing up as we speak. Be on your best behavior, please. Hands off your weapons. And she opens the door wide. So you step into what appears, what is most likely going to be your new accommodations going forward. So you're in a square room. The room itself is 20 feet by 20 feet exactly. You are coming in from the northwestern side on the north wall. Okay, so it is just a small 20 foot by 20 foot is not that small. So big enough.
20 foot by 20 foot?
Yes. So it's quite different than the rest of the halls. It's actually very well maintained. Obviously, the Arcantian frescoes have been completely worn away, but it looks like due to Huguette's and Sir Sorrow's efforts, probably not the goblins' efforts, it's been redecorated in a manner to her pleasing. So each wall has actually been painted a light blue, and each of them features the same image, a puffy white cloud, from behind which there are a handful of solar rays that emerge from behind the cloud. Okay. That's sort of been painted on each one of the walls. The furnishings inside the room, there is a wooden bed frame with an overstuffed feather mattress, a pair of leather easy chairs, a low wooden table, a beautiful mahogany armoire, a locked stone chest, which looks very similar to the one that you saw in Sir Simonet's chambers, or where Sir Simonet had holed up. And a desk and chair set that is made out of bone, like ivory bone. All right. And you see that standing amidst this and sort of packing up some of her valuables is indeed, in all her glory, 6'2" armored woman with long black hair, piercing green eyes, and she has their cheeks. One has a full sun ritually scarred into it. The other one has an arched doorway on the other cheek. And she whirls around as she sees you, and a smile spreads across her face, breaking up the coldness of her visage. She says, "Ah, you have come. Welcome, friends. These chambers, I believe, are about to be yours. I can't think of anyone more worthy to inherit them," she says, and smiles grimly at you.
Your words are very kind. Thank you very much. You've been here for quite a while, no? How long have you been in residence here?
Many, many months I've been here. My master assigned me here to advise the Goblin King. Their position here, and she looks at you like very carefully, like to make sure that you're kind of getting it, right? The goblins, as far as the power groups here in the halls, are on the very bottom tier. And I was sent by my master to help shore up that position.
Well, why? I'm sorry. We are fairly new to Arden Vul ourselves and still feeling our way through the halls. We met one of your fellow Sunscarred Knights. We told you before. It seemed like his duties involved wandering the halls on a mission for your master as well. But just out of curiosity, why would your master want to shore up the position of the goblins? Is there a stability? Does it create stability for the halls? I don't know what I'm trying to say here, John. I'm trying to figure out exactly why was given this mission. You know?
Yeah, she looks at you and she nods, and she's like, "You are a wise and insightful man, brother. For indeed, although the master's ultimate purposes are, of course, his own, and it remains a mystery, one of our sacred duties is to maintain stability within the halls. All of us are charged with this, in addition to our personal quests and interests. But indeed, there are a number of factions, powerful factions, that wish to see the goblins either subjugated or ended. And my master and myself, I should say, take pity on the goblins, for we do not think they deserve such a fate. One of my brothers in arms, Sir Prudence, currently advises the troll Thane, and he has learned that the Varamani are contemplating subjugation of the goblin tribes, and that they may be seeking an alliance with the Setites to accomplish this. Therefore, I was tasked by my master to come to the court here and advise the Goblin King. Indeed, she says, it was me that recommended establishing control over the debouchement when the vacuum occurred after your accomplishments. And it was also me that advised the king to ally himself and the goblins with the AV Club, I believe it is known as.
Sketch a little bow and be like, if by eliminating the halflings we created instability in the halls, we apologize. Again, we're new. We've only been doing this for a little while.
Oh, there's no need for an apology. In fact, the thanks go out to you, both on the part of the Goblin King, of course, but also you have the gratitude of the Sun-Scarred Knights, for you have accomplished what I have advised the king to do. In fact, their position is now stronger than it ever has been, and that is due to your deeds. Therefore, I find that my mission here has been accomplished, and I am vacating the premises. For my master surely has something else for me to do.
Is it known to you what you'll be doing next? Will we be seeing you again in our travels?
I'm sure we will cross paths as long as you can survive, but my next mission is not for me to tell.
Well, of course not.
I'm happy to hear that we're not inadvertently causing you to be evicted from these chambers.
Not at all. Not at all. It is just a fortuitous conjoining of circumstances. She says, I know that the king desires greatly to have that scepter. I can tell you this, that scepter does exist. I myself do not know what it looks like, but I do know that it does exist. In fact, it was Harub's squad. It was their mission to find that. And I know that Sir Simonent was in that area last, is what you explained to me, right?
Yes, we saw him. Yes.
The king was convinced that the intelligence he received about the location of the scepter in the basement precincts was sound. However, I was not so keen on it. I had advised him otherwise, that there may be another location. I can tell you this much. I will tell you what I told the king. The scepter itself was stolen many years ago by adventurers, led by a wizard by the name of Olaf. Now, the king was convinced that party absconded to the Beastmen territory, which is why he sent Harub there. But I think, anyways, John is clarifying that she thinks, and she doesn't know, that they went to the nether reaches. It's an area known for areas that are thick with pollen, but it can be reached by the troll lifts. If you take the lifts all the way down, you will be in the nether reaches. I would caution you, though, that the lone Varumani overseer at the bottom of the lifts is a troll by the name of Ekath. And he knows a dead-end posting when he sees one, and you must be aware that he may be duplicitous. Now, if you do not wish to take the direct route down via the troll lifts to get to the nether reaches, I have also heard rumor, although I cannot confirm, that there is a secret entrance to the level that is accessible via an establishment of some sort on the surface of Arden Vul.
Oh.
The Inn of the Broken Head, perhaps?
Is that the name of where travelers often rest before heading down? Perhaps that's it. I could not confirm nor deny.
That is, there are very few places on the surface where that can happen, and that's kind of it.
People can access it from the surface, but go all the way to the bottom of Arden Vul.
This is what
from there?
is rumors that I have heard while traveling the halls. Yes.
Speaking of rumor, we heard that you are deep in the knowledge of the teleportation circles. And A, could we teleport down there? And B, what can you tell us about teleportation circles?
My knowledge is only surface at best. I know more than most do. I know how they operate, but I cannot tell you the exact addresses. Is there a teleportation circle in the nether reaches? Likely. The Arcontians,
The address?
the Arcontian hegemony in Arden Vul was far flung, and their presence is felt in almost every level of Arden Vul. So, with the need to travel quickly between levels, it is likely that there is at least one teleportation circle per level.
Do you mind if we ask? I mean, with these, we've been aware of these for a while, and the tiles we've been searching for them, and now that we have some, we know some addresses and some places that we would like to revisit. But basic mechanics of this, we have never done it before, and it's still a little bit new to us. Can you describe just the basics of what happens? We assume that you place the tiles, teleportation can happen, but does it stay open for a while? Do the tiles come with you? Do you pop back? What happens? Do you lose the tiles if you go through? What are the basics of this? How does it work?
So she tells you that everything you say is correct, that you just have to lay the tiles in the address that you wish to go to in the correct sequence. And then you must step into the ring quickly. And there you will be you have basically a few seconds, approximately about 10 seconds, to collect the tiles and enter the ring, after which anyone who is in the ring is teleported without error to the address.
Okay, so you turn it on, scoop them up, step in, and you go.
Yes. If you do not take the time to take them, you will still be transported, but you will be marooned in wherever you end up. You will not have any squares with you.
Yeah, we know how that goes.
Well, you mentioned maroon. Is it
really good
possible
question.
to put in a code for something that doesn't exist and get teleported to nowhere?
No, every sequence will take you somewhere.
Oh,
Do
interesting.
they only connect within Arden Vul, or could I end up on the other side of the planet by accident?
I could not tell you.
Do
you know any addresses?
What, Mike?
Does she know any addresses?
She does not.
Okay.
She can't tell you
one-
where the ring
one
is
more-
here, though.
Yeah, one more question about. I'm sorry, Mike. I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I have one more question too. Is there any way when you find a teleportation circle to discern that address when you find it?
No, you have to. There are. The short answer is no. There is no There is no native, way to do it. You have to find information. You have to.
There's not like an instruction book somewhere. Okay,
Well, there might be, but she doesn't know
Right.
of it.
got it.
Okay. If you use a teleportation circle, end up say somewhere you really don't want to be, can you just immediately teleport back if you know the address that you want to do, or is there some kind of cool down period for these circles?
As far as she knows, you can use it instantaneously as long as you know the address.
Okay. All right, that's incredibly helpful.
Yeah, very good. Good questions, Matt. Sir Sorrow, obviously we are not Sunscarred Knights ourselves. However, we appreciate the mission that you say your order seeks to implement in the halls. So if there's ever any service that we can do that would engender increasing stability in the halls, I know I personally would be very interested in helping out in whatever way I could.
That is a generous gift. I'm sure that should you encounter any of my fellow brothers, that they may have tasks for you. Mine, of course, was to seek the betterment of the goblin's position, and you have served me ably in that, even without your knowledge, and for that I thank you.
Is there any sort of code word or sigil that we can present to another Sunscarred Knight to know that we have been of service and are, allies?
I will make sure that they all know.
How many of them are there?
Oh, we're about, she says and smiles.
Where is your
I like
daddy
this
and
one.
what does
She's
he do?
cagey. Yeah, you're not going to tie her down. No way.
Wait, hold on, Matt. Before you go on, John just said she knows where there's a teleport circle on this level.
Yes.
Well, so the king basically told you to.
It's right in the Goblin Halls, isn't it?
It's out. It's through the portcullis that leads out. to the
Oh,
east.
that's right. You did tell us that. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
That's okay. I mean, I think we have the vague questions that we had about the teleportation circles. One other topic. We met for the first time the automaton downstairs, run by was it Kerbal Khan?
Kerbal Khan, yes.
Have you had dealings with this person?
Everyone has had dealings with Kerbal Khan, she says and smiles at you.
Okay, well, not us more than just casually meeting. He has this thing that's very interesting about offering blood as part of any deal made for him. As far as you know, do people regret this choice once they've done this, or is this like, oh sure, have some blood, it's all good, no problem?
She it is a strange request, she says, and I don't not know for what purposes the Archmage desires the blood for, but who knows the purposes of minds so removed from our own reality. She says, but I haven't heard of no repercussions from any fair deal that was overseen by Kerbal Khan.
Okay, so and he is no, shall we say, enemy of stability. I know that you're as you said, you're interested in maintaining the status quo here. Or is anything that he's done so far put him at odds with what you guys are trying to do?
She looks at you really cannily, and she says, I would question your motives in asking a question such as that. I will say that he appears outwardly to have no desires other than to collect information and treasure and samples from around Arden Vul. I do not know for what purpose, but he makes no claims on power or anything like that, she says. The master, of course, as do we all, I think most residents of Arden Vul actually would love to know more about Kerbal Khan. Should you find any new information, come find one of us.
Interesting. Well, and that is exactly the reason why I asked, because if this was a person who was directly working against your goals, that would say a lot to us about whether or not we would want to deal with him.
Do you have reason to believe that he's working against the Sunscarred Knights?
No, because I trust you, and you told me that he does not.
He has always been fair in his dealings with us.
Okay, that is what I would like to know. You meet someone in a goblin market. He asks you for a little bit of blood and to help him out, and you're like, yeah, let me just ask around a little bit about you, okay?
You hear you get behind her, behind you guys, sniffs in derision as she's and you can hear some mumble under her breath, you think that's strange. Wait till you get further into the hall, sort of thing. And Sir Sorrow kind of makes a placating gesture, take it easy, Huguette.
Not in front of the children.
But she says she thanks you again for what you've done for the goblins. And she says, as she's sort of packing up, she basically like officially hands over the rooms to you, make it your own. She is not married to any. She's not taking any of the decorations or furniture with her, but you are welcome. It is no longer hers, so she's giving
Even
it to
the
you.
stone chest.
She's taking the stone chest with her.
Okay.
Of course.
The
Is it, John, is it broom clean and have all the holes in the wall been like patched up?
yes, like it's
Because she's not
easily
getting her
it's like
security
markedly
deposit back.
different than anywhere else in the Goblin Halls. It's like really really nice.
Does she
And-
know anything about the Beastmen? I'm sorry, I don't want to drag this out, but if we just give her the rough sketch of the deal that the king is asking for the Beastmen, can she just maybe tell us a little bit about the Ted? What was the name of the guy in charge over there?
Scleros.
Count something.
Scleros.
Count
Yeah.
Scleros.
Scleros. Yeah.
So not my area of expertise. I do know that the day-to-day operations are handled by the high-ranking members within their own populace. But I should warn you in any dealings with the Beastmen that there is a separation between the Beastmen themselves and the queen that they worship. Her name is Dano. And she is a strange figure who has been here for many, many ages. Longer perhaps than even the master. And I do not know her motives.
She's been here that long, and no one knows anything like about her motives.
No, we do not know if she uses the Beastmen as her, if she has any sort of care for them, or she sees them only as tools, and for what purpose, we do not know. The Beastmen themselves have obviously taken upon themselves to either mimic, or perhaps in some sort of strange way have been descended from the Imperial Tagmata, but it is unknown what their exact motives are. Count Scleros, if this is the person that you were saying is actually in charge of the Beastmen, may know much, for he obviously has the loyalty of his men, but obviously probably has a direct line to Dano herself. But be very careful. We do not have one of our members inserted amongst them.
And is that just because no one's currently assigned, or do they have some sort of antipathy towards your order?
An antipathy I do not know of. That may be the case, but the master has not deemed it the right time for whatever his inscrutable reasons are.
Okay. And is there anything the Beastmen desire? I'm sorry, Ted. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there anything that the Beastmen desire specifically that you've noticed?
The only thing that my fellows have reported seeing, and what I've talked to some of the denizens in the court here, is that they are often seen hunting for particular mushrooms and fungi that they claim that their queen greatly desires. One in particular, I believe, is their most favored. They're called cloudcap mushrooms.
Hey guys, when we were going through those caverns between
Yeah,
Gladiatorial School and Garalad's house, did we come across any of those?
I'm just looking. We've heard that phrase before.
Well, we heard Beastmen looking for those. I think you did actually up outside the Broken Head. Remember that night you were going out to get stuff from the stash, and you heard them coming by, searching for cloud cats. Actually, you know what? Lisbeth was part of the team that went through that, that area with the mushrooms. Actually, she's been there a couple of times now. John, would she, as a druid, would she have recognized if any of those were cloudcap mushrooms?
I guess if you had ever related the story of eavesdropping on the Beastmen to Elizabeth, that she would have told you that she herself has only ever heard of cloudcap mushrooms, and in the fact that they are only native to the dank caverns of Arden Vul and nowhere else in Arkantos. But she herself has never laid eyes on them because she hasn't really delved that deep into Arden Vul. She can confirm though that the mushrooms that were on Garalad's trail were not cloudcaps.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I have a question
Good to know.
for Sir Simon, or Sir Sorrow, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You and the Sunscarred Knights, very wise and deep in the lore of Arden Vul. What happened on the surface? Do you know why it looks that way? Blasted half and melted the other half? What?
A tragic story, of course. The catastrophe of the Civil War that rent the empire in twain. course, between the Theosophes and the Sordians. What most people don't ever bring into that horrible war that swept through the Empire was that here in Arden Vul, actually in many places throughout the Empire, they brought dragons to bear.
I knew it. Was Kraz one of them?
Kraz,
Have you met Kraz? Have you seen Krestonornix? Sorry, we just call him old Kraz, because we're so close to him.
There your knowledge exceeds my own, for I and my fellowship have been here in the dark halls for long, untold ages, and I do not know of a dragon by that name.
Good thinking, though, Ted.
Yeah. Do you guys think we should ask about the golden rod?
Sure.
Or is that tipping? I'd like to, but I don't want to get yelled at for tipping our hand.
Oh.
I mean, we're not going to, I don't want to whip it out and show it to her.
That's what I want to do, is absolutely whip it out and show it to her.
I don't think she would do anything to us here.
I mean, if she said, oh my God, it's the lost sun-scarred knight golden rod that will help us defeat the dragons, we would know something really interesting right then and there, If she said, never heard of it, such is life.
Right. I love it. I love it, but it's up to you guys. I say yes.
We could also just describe it to her.
Sure.
Right?
We can start with that. Why don't I start with that?
Yeah.
So the reason, Sir Sorrow, that I was sort of asking about the surface and the dragon is we recently had contact with this Krestonornix dragon, and he was very, very scary. I will tell you that right off the bat. But he was particularly fixated on something he believed that we had, which was a golden rod, maybe 12 inches long or so. Something like this. He was very, very keen to have it back. You ever heard of such a thing? Do you know what it is that he's asked us to get?
A golden rod. She kind of mulls it over in her head and unadorned.
Unadorned.
She doesn't recognize it. She tells you that something is tickling the back of her mind. She tells you that, like, it reminds her of something that she heard, but she can't quite place it. She said if she had to take a guess, it is most likely a key of some sort.
Cool.
This makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Something
some hoard that he wants or something.
Something plain like that. If it's made out of solid gold, it doesn't sound like it comes from those ancient peoples so alien to this world. Varamani, perhaps? Some sort of degenerated version of that technology, perhaps? Although it could be, and she sort of thinks, and she shudders a little bit, it may be of Heketi make, those that you know as the Hoppers.
Oh.
They favored things of this nature as well for any sort of for their inscrutable purposes. I'm not exactly sure, but
wow.
As far as why the dragon would want it, I would venture to say possibly greed more than anything else. But
this is fair.
Well,
this is fair.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's a good assessment on the dragon, but he seemed keen on it in particular. In the way that you don't care about which gold piece is which, right? But this one he wanted specifically.
She snaps her fingers and she goes, "Wait, are you sure it was gold? Are you sure it wasn't platinum that he asked for? Because I do know something that looks platinum. In fact, it's the bailiff up above. The one that has the robotic voice. Yeah, he carries something like that, unadorned, but platinum. Same length that you're describing, though.
Yeah, well, that's what made me realize the dragon wasn't just flapping his gums, that there actually was something that he was after. I don't know. Weird, but there it is. Yeah, we saw that. It's very strange, but it looked just like that from his description. Yes.
Interesting.
I wonder, it might be kind of fun to see if he might be willing to, for a little sum, part with that rod. We might be able to get him something nice to replace it. Could be interesting.
Rescue him. He takes his duties seriously. I think he actually thinks of it as a badge of office of some sort, but you never know. There's usually a price for everything. Makes me wonder, though, if you're certain that the dragon asked for a golden one and a platinum one lies around, perhaps it's part of a set or pair.
As soon as I saw that platinum one, I had the same thought. Silver, copper, adamantium, who knows what other kinds might be out there.
Well, certainly not Arcantian. If it's a key, as I suspect that it may be, and perhaps a part of a set of keys, certainly not of Arcantian make. The Arcantians use, of course, keys that we all recognize for the same function. So the question is, if it's a set of keys, what does it open?
Well, that's what's got me a little worried, frankly.
And it's got to be something the dragon can get to or doesn't want anyone else to ever open.
Or the dragon just likes, or he just wants shiny stuff too. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. It would make a nice hoard item for bragging to his friends.
All right, guys. I think we've milked this cow. Let's go.
No, wait. There's one more other to squeeze.
One more thing.
Pardon. If I just take your metaphor one more thing. How familiar? I mean, you have, travels through your organization. You know everything. There's a person on a level up from here. A man named Gerlad. How does he and his army of baboons work within your desired level of status quo?
The master has not had an opinion on them one way or the other. I am vaguely aware of their existence, but I surmise that they are of little to no interest to the overall power balance in Arden Vul.
Okay.
Great news.
Kill away, boys. Kill away.
And that was it for Gerlad.
That is actually the first time that I've actually heard the name of the person that you deem to be in charge of these baboons. I shall report this back to the master. It's good information. Thank you.
I'm glad that we could, partake and help a little bit.
And freely given too. Lovely, she says.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you've been very, very giving with information, and it seems like a little quid pro quo is in order here.
So she, I haven't been role playing it, but she don't forget too that she gives off like this palpable melancholy, and as she kind of watches you and converses with you, you always get that unnerving feeling that she sort of sees how your end is going to be, and that it's going to be very, very sad.
Oh no!
So, despite the pleasant conversation and the amount of information you got, you sort of leave the chambers feeling discomfited, basically.
I'm mostly discomfited about if we all move into that room, we have to share one bed.
Dibs.
Just like Gary.
I that first.
Well, as you said, you can outfit it however you like.
Okay, we can buy beds.
Yeah, so you can.
Out of your stack.
She's basically on the way out, so we can just sort of abstract it, and like that room is now yours. You can either stay there right now, or you can leave and let her pack up. It doesn't really matter. But regardless, I have been remiss in taking our break, so let's do our one break for the night, and we will be right back.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Okay, you just met with Sir Sorrow, and you got tons of information. Her room is now yours. We can play it all Fallout style, and you guys can pimp that shit out however you want, to the level of detail that you desire.
Popcorn machine.
You will. It would be tough to top the bone desk and bone chair, though. You might probably want to keep that. It's pretty gnarly.
Yes, definitely keeping that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for Mesophase? Absolutely. That's got him all over it.
Well, Oop-Yor especially, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you do?
All right.
So I'm going to say that basically traveling to the room took about another 3 turns or so. And then the conversation itself, I'll say, took another 2. So right now it's about 9:20 in the morning. Not that we're not really doing dungeon exploration, but just for timekeeping sake. 9:20.
Okay, 9:20.
What dost thou do?
What is it? Is it Is it the 6th or the 5th?
It is the 6th of Gelenios.
Yeah.
Guys,
6th. Okay.
Yeah.
can I just make one more suggestion? Can we go back down to Matt's fungus brewer and just see if he's got any insight on where we can get these sky cap mushrooms, cloud cap mushrooms?
Sure.
Oh, you know what? We should also show him that red powder that you were talking about, Ted. Maybe he knows what it is.
I mean, he'll probably charge us to identify it, but
Where was the red powder found?
Let's ask him.
the red powder originated, I believe, in
one of the
barracks.
Yeah, in Eustis's area.
Red dust wrapped in paper, officers' barracks. It was in one of the like chests or something when we looted it. We found all kinds of jewelry and things, and this was just.
Yeah.
We know it's magic because we did a detect on it, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also that little box, that little teak wood box of cocaine that Niall found in that same level. I think that was in it was like powder. The second. Yeah.
The second set of barracks.
The second room. Yeah.
I feel like it did not come up magic because I have an actual value for it, 75 gold.
Yeah. I think I remember that too.
For what?
I'm not to game too much, but if it's not magic, John gives us a value typically.
This was the little teak box that has some white powder in it.
Yes.
Right.
Found on that same level in one of the other barracks rooms. I think it might have been found in the very first like smaller room that was off of that.
I have it recorded as barracks, not the officers' barracks. And it's 75 gold, teakwood box with white powder. But asking about the red dust wrapped in paper is a great idea. Similarly, we could ask the fungus guy about the stone canister with the seeds that we found in the officers' barracks.
That did not detect as magic, just FYI.
No, it didn't, but I don't know what it is. And if it's something he's really into,
right,
we might get something good for it because I don't have a value on it. And he might be like, I don't know, it's old seeds. What the hell? And Mort carried the damn thing around for ages for no reason.
Okay. I don't want to go down our entire inventory list with this dude who makes like mushroom beer. I just wanted to ask about the cloud cap mushrooms.
We'll do these 3 questions and we're done.
Okay.
And then we'll have drinks with him.
Well,
because that's what you do.
I'll tell you about. How about this, Mike? If we don't go visit the Mushroom Man, what would you do?
I would say that now is time to go talk to the Beastman prisoner and see if we can get him to go along with us to go talk to the Beastmen. Tell him that we've managed to secure his. Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we get to that bridge if we actually go talk to the cow guy? Okay, like let's go talk to the other dude first, and then go talk to Cowman. All right.
Okay.
I have thoughts. Plans.
So what are you doing?
I have thoughts. Sorry, John. What?
Where are you going?
We're gonna go talk to Mushroom Brewer guy and see if he knows where we get some of those special mushrooms.
Okay.
Cloud caps.
Yeah. All right. So, yes. Okay. So he does tell you. He'll just tell you freely. Like he doesn't have any cloud caps for sale, but he definitely knows about cloud caps. And his eyes kind of go wide. He's like, yes, if you can find me cloud caps, I would love to trade for cloud cap mushrooms. They are difficult to procure, mostly because the greatest quantity of them are in the fungal gardens that can be found in the great cave that is just to the south of the Beastman precincts in the halls of Thoth.
South of the Beastmen?
South of the Beastman, yes, indeed. South of the Great Hall.
Oh.
There is a river that flows, an underground river that flows. This is the tales that he's heard, anyways. There's a river that flows from the west and forms a great lake in the midst of these fungal gardens. And they are vast and huge, and there are all sorts of ancient Arcontian ruins. Much danger there as well. But I know that the Beastmen claim it as their own and as their own hunting grounds.
Well, then why do they want these mushrooms if they've got them, like the market secured on them?
Oh, that must be hard to find.
Right.
South of
If
the
it's that dangerous, maybe. Yeah. Okay. And John, does he? What does he think when we show him the red dust and the white dust? Does he recognize what those things are?
He does not recognize what those are.
What about the seeds?
Where were the seeds?
Officers' barracks. Stone container full of seeds.
I can't find them, so I'm going to have to say no on that one. I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay. No, we have to plant one and see what happens. Oh, Elizabeth might know.
Mushroom seed.
Those mushroom seeds are famous.
Okay.
Okay. So I definitely think we should talk to that Beastman guy over there, find out there. But we need to decide if we're staying on our current path, what we talked about, which was going to check out, like, see what's up with Tresco, Sad Monkey Man, or if we're going to switch gears and do this Beastman thing. Like, I'm fine with talking to him while we're here, while it's easy to do that, see what kind of information he has. But in general, we kind of have to pick. Are we staying in the Plunger Town mystery? Because we have that disco ball, right? That we've always wanted to, like, put the finishing touch on that chapter for that level.
Yep.
And right.
Well, and plus there's a lot to this level we have not explored.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we need to talk to the Beastman. They said that he was not doing well health-wise, right? So that might put a time crunch on getting using him if we want to try and use him, right? To get access to the Beastman. At the very least, we should go grill him for information, see if he's even amendable. And then if he is amendable, maybe we can just bribe the guards in the prison to give him some better food, some better water to, like, you know, just take care of them a little bit better. So maybe we extend that time frame. Does that make sense? You know,
if necessary, I could drop
hey,
a heel.
We're going to try and get you out, but in the meantime, we're going to get you some better food, right? Does that make sense?
Is he literally just, like, chained to a wall on the western side of the market, John, or is he in a cage?
You don't know. Are you going there?
Yes.
Okay.
How did we know he was there?
You were told.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, let's go visit him.
Okay. So, let's see. About another half hour to get down to the merchants, another turn to deal with the guy. And we'll say about another turn to get over to that area. So, so you shoot over towards the western end. Now, you haven't really explored this area that much, actually. So you're going past the fire pit to the western end. There is a long, 30-foot wide opening into this chamber on either corner, the northwest and the southwest corner of the Goblin Halls here. There are some penned-in areas. The one to the north is the goat pen, and the one to the south is a fire beetle pen. So there are a bunch of, like, those, you know, beetles with the red thorax abdomens, and they're being guarded over by goblins with goads, right? Basically. Beyond that, though, is you step past that, so now you're out of the main goblin market and you are into this strange area to the west. Through this archway. It's a smoky, large chamber that is, it's quite large. 5, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's 50 foot square. You're entering in directly from the east. And it's dominated by 4 cages, which hang from thick chains in each of the corners of the room. There, directly across from you on the western wall, are a pair of huge obsidian doors. They are 15 feet tall and 10 feet wide that loom and dominate the western wall. Very, very strange. Centuries of smoke and grime have completely effaced the original frescoes on the northern and southern walls. And in addition to the cages that are in the 4 corners, there are 6 iron posts that are driven right into the stone floor in the center of the room. And to those 6 posts are shackled additional beings. There are a bunch of young goblins that appear to be hanging around those posts, and they're mocking the prisoners. Some of them are over in the corner and hurling things in, hurling trash into the cages and laughing and squealing. And there is a pair of guards that is stationed at both the north and south exits from this room. There are arched exits directly in the middle of the northern and southern walls. So there's the huge archway to the east, which is what you're coming through, huge obsidian doors to the west, and then small archways to the north and south. Okay.
All right.
So directly in front of you are the 6 posts, and the goblin kids go running and squealing away as you guys sort of enter into this smoky, dark, but large chamber. Let's see. On the stakes, there are 2 goblins that have been tied to the stakes. There is what is obviously a beast man, much larger than the goblins, who has a sheep's head. And there is what appears to be a merchant wearing soiled robes who is sitting there sobbing with his head in between his knees. Okay. You cannot tell who is in the cages because they're a little bit further away and the area is smoky.
And they're hoisted up above the ground, is that right?
Yeah, they're hanging from the ceiling.
All right. Well, there's your beast man, Mike.
Yeah.
Should I try the old Imperial approach?
I think that's genius. We know that they're into it, right?
Yeah. So, if no one accosts us when we enter the area, John, I'll go up to the beast man, making sure not to get within range of him. I don't know how, like, if his hands are shackled directly to the post or if he's got some play, but I don't want him leaping out at me.
Yeah, he won't.
And I'll give him an Imperial salute. Ave, brother.
What do you want?
Well,
you don't look like the others.
No. I am I am the voice from the outer world. I'm not like the goblins down here, but I have aligned myself with them. But I
come to torture me more then.
Say again?
Come to torture me more then.
No. I see also a kinship with your folk, proud sons of the Empire. It shows.
An eyebrow raises.
I think I could be of some help, I and my friends, in brokering a peace between your 2 peoples. Should there always be war between Goblin and Beastman?
I'm just a lowly soldier. I'm not here to talk diplomacy with you. My end is nigh.
Are you accused of a crime or prisoner of war?
I deserted from the Beastmen.
Oh.
Oh.
I attempted to get away to the surface, but I was rounded up by these things. And now here I sit, awaiting my last day.
What cause could you have to desert from your brethren?
Just tired of this slavish devotion to the Queen.
Queen Dano?
Her name is Dano. And yes.
My apologies. Dano. What manner of queen is she that you should seek to leave her?
She has strange desires. Our people themselves are corrupt forms that she herself has created and continues to breed. I am ashamed of myself in my own skin.
It is true then. You do descend from the Empire's legionnaires who were trapped here long ago.
We do, yes.
And it is your queen who has wrought this change upon your folk.
Indeed, and none of the others see it. They take pride in it. It is shameful.
Are there others like you who have deserted, as you say?
I do not know. I answer only for myself now. Have you come to free me? Put an end to me?
Which would you prefer?
End it now. I do not want to die like this.
If it is in my power to end you with honor, I will do so.
You see the guards are on the northern and southern ends are watching you very carefully.
Maybe Mike could go negotiate with a guard to find out what the status of this prisoner is.
Yeah, I can do that. Ted, we don't want him to kill himself. We want him to give us information and then be our bud. Right?
Yes, but I'm playing to what his desires are.
Okay.
I'm not planning to stab him right here and now.
Okay, don't go down murder hobo on me. Okay. I'm gonna. Ted's like, how much XP are you worth? 14.
No, but if a fellow soldier says, "End me now," I can't take being a prisoner. You got to listen.
Yeah, sure. All right,
So-
I'm gonna go over to the goblin guards, kind of like this, and say, "Welcome, allies. We are allies of your king.
We know of you, yes. Welcome, brother.
We
Lothar.
are interested in the story behind this beast man. Can you tell us how he was captured and where?"
He was found roaming up in the halls of Thoth, places where he shouldn't have been, too close to our newly acquired territory.
Right, we're well familiar with that newly acquired territory.
What interest do you have in them?
What's up?
What interest do you have in him? We saw that you are huddled close to him.
I'm not able to discuss the king's desires openly, obviously, although I understand you are his stalwart warriors. Right?
Indeed.
But that secret is not mine to give. However, I can assure you that we would do nothing that would make the king angry or that would interfere with your duties here. What is to
Excellent.
become of this prisoner?
Oh, we will let him rot for a little bit, and then we'll repurpose him. And they lick their lips.
Gotcha. Remind me not to try the taco stand out in the forum there.
We are just guards, of course, but I would say that if the king, and he sort of gestures around to like the other strange creatures in the cages and stuff like that, oftentimes they can be used as bargaining chips.
Yes.
Of course, why would we want to deal with thinking beastmen? This is why I think that they would likely be on our plates soon enough. And he nudges the other one.
Are prisoners ever purchased?
For ransom, indeed.
And how much? Who would I discuss? Who would I discuss the ransom for this creature?
Oh, that would be the king, of course, or Palestrium if you cannot get an audience.
Gotcha.
As he says, he kind of directs you to the cage that's in the northwestern corner, which is to like your left because you're dealing with like the northern guards.
Right.
And he says, take for instance this one, and he said, you see that destitute, naked in that cage is a creature that you have never seen before, but you can immediately size up what it likely is. It is a large bipedal lizard-like man with a long, thick lizard's tail, and like just barely a scrap of a loincloth, heavily muscled with a huge muzzle. Right. Definitely not a hopper. Right. It's like a dry lizard skin. In fact, it's so destitute that it has started to molt. And so there are loose shreds of skin that are sort of like kind of folded back, but he doesn't have the strength to actually like go through the whole molting process, or like to clean himself up, you know what I mean? But just like one nictitating eye just sort of rolls back and looks at you like unrecognizing. And he says, and the goblin sort of pokes up at him. He says, I know he's not much to look at, but the Palestrium is convinced that this creature is royalty. Some have even whispered that it may be the Lizard King's son. If it's indeed true, which the lizard man refuses to divulge, indeed we may have some mighty ransom here.
Well,
is this the
that's
same
quite
for
a-
the beastmen? They do not. They do
quite a
not have
bounty.
such ranks.
Well, may I then entreat you, until we can talk to Palestrium and the king about this creature's future, I take like a solideye out of my pouch and kind of put it across my fingers and then flip it to the guard and be like, can we improve the quality of his food and the quantity? We wouldn't want him wasting away before we can ransom him back to his people.
Are you talking about the lizard man or the beast man?
I'm talking about the beast man.
The beast man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he likes that gold, so he says, certainly we'll make sure that he gets fed properly, if that's what you desire.
Yeah. Maybe a little higher quality of food and maybe a little bit more, and then maybe keep the other prisoners away from him a little bit. And when that runs out, you let me know. There shall be more.
Excellent. They like that a lot.
Okay.
All right, so mark off a solo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. In the
All right,
meantime,
go Ted, go.
yeah. What is your name, brother?
My name is Barrios.
Barrios?
Barrios.
I am Mortis.
Mortis. He rolls the name around on his very dull sheep-like teeth, right?
Yeah.
Says, I am of the Caprine Conturb, he offers.
Caprine Conturb. Is that your phalanx?
That is our company, yes.
Your company. Oh, these usages, these words, they have fallen out of use under the sky. The Caprine Conturb, an old name, I think, yes?
Very old, indeed.
Yeah. I think you might be able to help us. Rather than me killing you, which I will do if that is what you truly desire when the time comes, you will not be awake to experience goblin teeth gnawing away at your flesh. But perhaps you would prefer to join us and give us guidance and knowledge on how to entreat with your people in a productive manner.
You would free me?
If it is in my power.
Yes,
I have the ear of the king.
If you free me, I can provide this information, yes. I will not return to those precincts, though. I will not serve that queen.
No, I would not expect it, nor ask it. We have been near the precincts. We have encountered the Hall of Gargoyles.
The Great Hall, yes.
It did not seem to be fully under your control.
No, we quarrel with the goblins over it. He sort of tries to hawk a spit on the ground, but can't quite do it.
You war with the goblins, but I think you also war with the gargoyles.
The gargoyles are merely guardians.
What do they guard?
I know not.
Interesting. We passed through, and there was a great battle behind us, as far as I could tell, between beastmen and gargoyle. Does that not seem strange to you?
It is unwise to spend too much time in the Great Hall.
Yeah.
Now I can give you information, but if you wish to use it against my fellows, I will not give it. I do not wish them ill.
No, upon my honor, I do not wish ill of the beastmen either. This is what I seek is knowledge in order to approach them in safety and fairness and entreat with them from a place of strength, but not of dishonor. But perhaps this man of God here has something he wishes to say.
I do, thank you. I'm very curious about something. You say that you are devoted to your fellows. This is admirable, of course, and yet you were leaving them. You were deserting them, and you say it's because of their slavish devotion to the queen. What makes you different? Why are you not also devoted to this queen? Why? That's if you care about your brothers and your brothers are devoted to this queen, where is your devotion? What happened?
I saw through what she is. She has corrupted us. As I said.
And how did you come to this revelation? How do you know?
I'm super smart.
But that
Just
sums
would
it up,
laugh.
doesn't it? You are of the
Yeah,
cat,
that's good to cook,
Caprine conturb. That
That's
says
right.
a lot right there.
Exactly. No,
What-
he just in all honesty, he's like, they're all individuals, and that guy just happened to kind of what he thinks. He thinks he's seen through her deception.
Yeah.
Like apparently,
Okay.
you get the vibe that basically like the whoever Dano is kind of puts forth a certain message about who they are and what their mission is in the halls, and Barrios here doesn't believe it and thinks that
Right.
the queen has basically created this race, continues to breed it, and that it is to their everlasting shame, according to him.
Do you?
And so he left.
Do you? Well, I'm most curious. Your queen. You've seen her?
Only briefly.
Is she of form like men?
Yes.
Or like beast
Oh yes.
men?
Oh yes. Quite beautiful and strange
Yeah?
and eldritch.
Strange and eldritch.
She's bewitching. She
Very.
She lusts constantly. In fact, one of our stated missions handed down from Count Scleros is that we find and bring to the Queen's presence human men of attractive nature.
Is she
And
then?
she points to whoever of you has the highest charisma. I don't know who does, but the
I've
good
got
looking,
a
the good looking
I'm like 13.
13.
It's
There you
me,
go.
baby.
What am I? That's Avaricios, baby. He's got 14.
Oh, hello.
If you're missing a hand, you
Yeah,
know.
it goes down, dude. You can't
It was-
serve
it-
the
it was-
queen
it
with a
was my-
snout like that.
He sizes
wait,
he sizes
come
up
on, man.
Lothar and Avaricios and says, "You would do.
Sweet.
I'm right here. I'm beautiful.
You're a goblin."
Come on.
Not
So
a human.
that's actually important. She says, "Human males is what she wants."
Right. So is she then not only your queen, but your mother?
She desires that we call her that. I refuse.
Interesting. Well, we have secured for you better food, better treatment. We will speak to the king about your release. I can't promise anything other than a quick death if it is in my power to give it to you, and your freedom should we release you. But I would like your help in learning about beastmen and your lands so that we can not stumble into another,
I thank you
room
for
like the Great Hall.
I thank you for what you've done so far. I wish I had more to offer. I have very little. Should you free me, though, I will offer you what information I have.
Knowledge is good.
How? Yeah. Avaricios is kind of giving him the once over while this is going on. How bad does he look? Is he on death's door, or does he look like he's going to hang around for a while if like the food is going to
He'll
help,
hang
or
around,
is he
but
on his
he's not
way?
looking great. He has a few hit points.
Okay.
So you see that in the other cage. So you got right around you are those are two other goblins. There is a sobbing merchant as well.
Human?
Yeah. That's
What's
definitely
his charisma?
looks Arcantian.
Offer him a tribute to the queen?
In the hanging cages, though, there is that lizard man. There appears to be a human, what looks to be like an arcane, like a magic user of some sort, is in one of the cages. One of them is actually a goblin that bears a striking resemblance to the king. Has the same oversized fangs and the smushed nose, but is much skinnier than the king. And in the last one is one that sends shivers down your spine because it's the first time that you've actually seen one alive. It is like one of those, one of the hieroglyphs and statues you've seen in a couple of places. Suddenly in real life form is an amphibious creature, bipedal with a shovel face and blinking salamander like eyes.
Is it a hopper?
That stares at you balefully from the cage. As you approach that particular cage, it jumps to its feet and grabs the iron bar with sticky claws and rattles them and just looks at you with absolute hatred.
Probably a hopper then.
Does he? Yeah. Does he look at all of us? Does he hate all of us the same, or does he? Does
He
his
sure
attention
does.
fix on anybody?
Nope. He hates all of you.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Can we try and talk to him?
You can certainly try.
I mean, might be interesting. It might be interesting to know if they're like can converse. I stayed kind of out of its range, John, and I'm just like, "What's your name, bud?"
Hey,
So
buddy.
it lets out like a guttural. You assume it's probably got to be some sort of language, but it's just like, and just you have no idea what that is.
You don't speak common.
I want
then?
to go. I want to go. It's not. I want to go ask. Go over to the goblin guards and say, "Hey, that thing over there, man. He looks like bad news. Where's he from? Where did you get him?"
That's one of the, and he looks like a little bit scared as he looks over there. He goes, "That's one of the hoppers."
Gross.
He's horrified.
I don't even remember who
how
brought
did
them
he
in.
end up in that cage?
It may have been one of the adventurers who brought them in, but we're too scared. We don't really know what to do with it. Too scared to kill it. Obviously, too scared to let it go. Can't be dealt with. So there he sits, rotting. Thing is terrifying, though.
I thought all the hoppers were gone.
No, they're around. They're there in the most dark and secret places in the halls. So dangerous they are.
They dig tunnels.
They hate all of us. All of us. They were here first before anyone.
Yeah. Do they dig tunnels?
Oh, yes. Many tunnels. You can always tell where they dig tunnels, and their architecture is very strange. It's pebbly, like their skin, and oily, has a sheen to it.
Which we've seen recently. Where did we see that?
We have.
We saw it upstairs on the way in, the wet caves.
Yeah, the door in the wet cave.
So to be clear, it's bipedal. The animal that it most resembles, although it doesn't resemble that much, is like a salamander. However, their torso is longer than that of humans, and they have short but very powerful legs, and they have longer. Their arms are actually longer than their legs. Okay, their tails are vestigial, and they have it has a head and neck that pivots like 90 degrees on the torso. Head looks like a flattened bullet with a rounded snout, slit eyes, and slit ears that are set well back. And there is their maw, which the maw, which you can see as it sort of yells at you, is just filled with teeth. You remember that movie Critters? From the
Oh man,
yeah. So they don't look like that at all. But the mouth, that kind of like wide mouth with like just full of sharp teeth, is very much like that. The skin is coal black. It's naked, coal black, and it's flecked with orange and yellow spots.
Can I ask the guard? I was like, can anyone understand what they say?
No one knows. It is a cursed language. And its hide glistens with a mucus-like sheen. And the hide itself is pebbled. It does remind you exactly of the walls that you saw up above.
Hey, Matt, is there a cleric spell that allows you to converse with a creature?
comprehend languages.
No, if it's an animal, but I don't think he counts as an animal.
Yeah, probably.
John, would he send off animalistic vibes to me? I don't think so.
Not really, no. You can tell that the creature is definitely sentient. As you're kind of observing it and talking amongst each other, it pulls back from the cage and it lifts up its snout and it lets out a shrill piping sound, which I can't really emulate with my own voice, but it's like almost like a bird call. Mm. And it's like really high and long, like a piping.
I look at it very seriously, John, and I say, "Clever girl."
Mm.
I don't know, man. Matt, I think like if there's like a lower level that lets you read languages, maybe it's time to research a higher level spell that lets you speak a language. Maybe that's a wizard thing, not a cleric thing.
That's a wizard. That's a wizard thing.
Okay.
We should get one of those.
If only we had one of them. Yeah.
Dang it.
All right, guys. So what now?
So it's a question of, do we commit to the Beastmen plan? Do we go Plunger Town? Or do we go really and just to heck with all this and let's try out that teleport circle? Ha ha ha.
Well, while we're still looking at these things in cages, one of our tasks at hand is, involving the, legitimacy of the current leadership here, correct?
Yeah. What, you want to go see the troll
This
list?
guy. No. I want to talk to the other guy in the cage. I want to talk to the guy in the cage who looks like the king's brother or something.
Oh, I don't want to get involved in that business, man. That's
Why are you guys so determined to overthrow power? Like,
no. I'm not trying to overthrow anything. I'm just trying to find out like what's the deal. This guy could be who, whatever her name is trying to kind of install or whatever. I just want to find out who he is. I just ask the guards. What is the story with this goblin over here? It seems, why is he in a cage?
It's a sad tale, that one. That's the king's half brother. His name's Perbrine.
Oh, what happened that he ended up in this situation?
He ran his mouth a little bit too large, started making sounds about how what the black snots were saying sounded pretty good. And it doesn't matter if the guy's blood. You start saying stuff like that out loud. It's a one-way ticket to here.
sounds about right. So that's how kings work.
There he rots, rebellious son of a bitch.
You got your answers, Matt. Don't be seen talking to him, guy. Stop.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little actually more interested in the human wizard there, the arcane type. I think you called it, right, John?
Yes. So when you approach that more, you can see that as you get closer, although he's kind of huddled up in a ball on the bottom of the cage with his cloak over him. But as you approach and your shadow sort of falls over him a little bit, he removes his cowl and kind of looks at you, and you can see glaring back at you. And remember his level sort of like where your eye level is. Is an almond shaped eye, and you see a distinctly pointed ear poke out from the cowl.
It's an elf. I don't speak Elvish, do I? No, oh well.
What would you have of me? And he kind of raises up and he's like, but you are from the Empire, are you not?
I am the voice from the outer world.
He scrambles towards you with like his slim hands, like kind of grab the bars, and he looks at you and he's like, free me, friend, while they're not looking.
Oh, I cannot do that, but perhaps I could free you under more conventional channels. Why are you here?
I was separated from my group, and they caught me and brought me here.
What is your name?
They took my book. My name is Narbo.
Narbo the elf. A wizard, I take it?
Indeed. I'm not a member of the Collegium. I hail from the Elven Court to the west. However, I'm looking for a man. Have you seen him? A man steeped in lore.
Many such men. Do you have a name?
Yes, I do. He looks at you and
I'll lean close to listen.
His name's Isocritus.
I fucking knew it.
I knew it. I was like,
you ain't gonna find him no more.
I see it on your face, friend. I see that you know the name. You recognize the name. Yes.
I do know.
Why do you? Yeah, why do you seek him?
Sorry, I'm waiting for someone. Who's asking the question?
I just said something.
What's
that? I just said that. Yeah. Why do you seek this man?
Well, I sought this man, my fate. Now, who knows, but he's a man steeped in knowledge and lore. Apparently he knows the location of the Great Library of Thoth. I too desire to see this library.
Oh, it's not that impressive.
You've seen it. You've been in there.
Oh, yeah.
Free me, friend. Share with me this knowledge. You will find solace and fame and honor in the courts of the great elven king. You will want for nothing.
Look at me. You don't want a goblin in your court, believe me.
I wander back over to the guards and I'm like, what's this guy's deal?
We found him wandering the halls.
I mean, we've been wandering the halls. You're just left.
He started wiggling his fingers from pulling out his book, and we just yanked it from him. And now he's complaining and moaning. Never shuts up. Thanks for waking him up.
Sorry.
I'll
Sorry.
ask Narbo.
How long has he been down here?
What is it you want from the library, Narbo?
There's tales of forgotten lore, ancient magic.
Oh, it wasn't very interesting. There were a bunch of books. I suppose they had some lore in them.
What would you know? And he kind of looks disdainfully down at you.
I know much. I know the 12 labors of Arden.
Who doesn't?
I know.
Tell.
He knows.
I know.
He knows how to
all
not
there
be
is
in
to
a
know
cage.
about the followers of the arch-trader Priscus Pulcher. I know the song of Jacinth the Rose.
These are all tales of ancient Arcantos. These are children's tales told by children to children. Did you forget what I told you that where I am from? This means nothing to me. Yeah,
They
you
were
are
all in the
useless to me.
library.
Allow me to sleep. And he kind of turns his back towards you again.
Yeah, well, the hell with you too, pal. Guess where you're staying?
And I asked the goblins, how much you want for that one?
None of them are for sale.
Yeah.
They are all prisoners.
I want Narbo to come over close too, just to break his spirit. By the way, Isocritus is dead.
He was, and he just mumbles. He's like, lies coming from a typical lying, thieving species.
He's a racist. How much XP is he worth?
Because he's got to go.
I was just about to say something just as bad about elves, so I guess it's
You
right.
guys
Well,
talk a lot
I
of
say we leave
smack
him to
and
rot.
you're not even dwarves.
Okay, so what is your plan?
All right, guys, time to make a commitment. Now that we are at the end of the session, before we have to
Let's do
rehash it
something?
on Discord for the next like 7 days, what are we doing?
Plunger
All those
down.
in favor of Plunger Town. I really need to know why they're sad, Trefco. I really need to know why they're sad,
You
Trefco.
plunger down.
Okay.
Plunger
We
Town.
got to
Okay,
do Plunger Town.
okay,
Let's do
sounds
it.
good. All right, so we're basically wrapping up the session. Is there anything else you want to do in Goblin Town before you actually head back up to Goblin Town, or head back up to Plunger Town? And how are you planning to get to Plunger Town?
I think through the plunger.
All right.
Through the Plunger.
fastest way.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also, like while we're in this cage, just in this prison room, let's just ask real quickly: what's to the north, what's to the south, and what's behind those big black doors? I mean, we're here. It drives me crazy to see like empty spaces on the map.
So they tell you that to the north, they kind of give you a smiling look, and they're like, to the north is you'll find Agoravir, where he takes care of some of the prisoners when they need a little bit of an extra push.
Ew.
A torturer.
Okay.
And to the south is the Yum Yum Kitchens.
That doesn't sound
Okay.
appropriate at all.
But he says both of those are interesting. He says, "Look at the gates," and he points to
Yeah,
like the
nice.
the great doors. So these are like huge,
Yeah, we looked
impressive
at
doors. They're carved with arcane symbols that the symbols themselves are reminiscent of Thoth, Set, and the Imperial cult itself from way back in the day. It looks like gold once filled them, but they've been stripped away a long time ago. And they're very, very strange. The guards tell you that no one, not even the king, has ever been able to open the doors. They are a great mystery to the goblins. There are 4 obsidian posts that protrude from the doors at eye level, 2 on each side of the double doors, and the posts are exactly 8 inches apart. And when you get up close, the guards sort of take you up to them and they say, look here, around the posts themselves, that there are small steel needles that are extending about 1/8 of an inch above the surface of the door around the areas of the posts.
Sorry, they're coming out of the stone. The needles are coming out of the stone, or they're hovering.
They're coming out of the stone. So there's like 4 posts, right? 2 on either side of the double doors themselves, on either side of the doors that are 8 inches apart. And there are a set of steel needles that are right near those posts that are about 1/8 of an inch above the surface of the door. Right.
So, John, this sounds, maybe I'm crazy. This sounds reminiscent of the holes that we saw in the door behind Killick. No, because those were like things that you stuck in. I thought these were about the same. If we look at those needles, they don't have any like carvings on the flat end or anything, do they?
No.
And
Okay.
no relation to our golden rod either.
No.
And these doors are Arcantian, correct?
Yes, they do appear to be Arcantian, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And the other ones were Hopper ones, Matt, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's kind of ballsy to like put your like big base right next to some doors that you don't know how they open or what's behind them. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
Are there any carvings, anything in Mithric that I can read? Anything like abandon all hope, ye who press the third button on the left?
There is no writing on except for the symbols themselves all over the doors.
And the symbols are depicting what?
Thoth, Set, and the Imperial cult.
And is like Set being like put down? Is he like,
He's exalted. So
They're really old.
They're very, very old. Yeah. And they're arcane symbols too. That's the clear thing too. So it's like you've seen, of course, a number of Thoth stuff all over, like frescoes and stuff like that. But these are sort of arcane symbols that represent those aspects of Thoth and Set in the Imperial cult. So it's a fine delineation. But Thoth himself actually is also the god of magic, secret knowledge, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when you say there's posts on either side of the door, are they coming out of the door? Are they like vertical or horizontal?
They're horizontal posts that are exactly 8 inches apart. There's 2 on each side of the double doors.
So on the door, not on the wall next to the door.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Do they look like they can be pushed or pulled?
No. They're cylindrical and they're obsidian. They appear to be sort of unadorned in a similar manner that the golden rod and the platinum rod are, right? Which is kind of odd. There is a similarity there, and there's 4 of them, and they're so like where the seam of the double doors are, right? They are right around. They're collected right around there, right? So there's 4 of them, 2 on one door and 2 on the other, all 8 inches apart, so they form a square, but 2 on each door. And then right next to each post is a series of needles that kind of come out only about 1/8 of an inch, like super tiny, right? Like super tiny. They just sort of come out like right near those posts. Yeah.
Ted's about to explode. Go, Ted, go.
So like the slot, the posts, as if that's where a handle had once mounted.
Possibly.
And
Yeah.
It seems like a really weird coincidence to discover the platinum handle so close to this. And like with the gold handle, like if we put the gold rod near that, I mean, it seems about the right proportion to be a handle, right?
You're the way you're kind of contemplating it, it doesn't quite match up because these posts sort of look like the rod. So it doesn't look like your rods would fit anywhere.
No, not
right?
fit.
It looks like something was meant to fit over the posts. Right.
Right. I was thinking like if there's the posts like this, you put the rod right up to it, and they would connect and be a handle.
I think what he's saying, is that there was some sort of handle mechanism on there, and these posts are kind of like the thing that goes into it, like that, and then the needles would probably connect with something else too, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what I'm getting, John? Like almost like IKEA furniture,
possibly.
Like two posts and then you go plunk and then you would pull or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. So very odd looking gates. It's also something that even though the goblins think that they're Arcantian, you have never seen anything Arcantian in the halls that looks like this at all. And not only that, but the size of them is huge too. They're like 15 feet tall. They're absolutely gigantic. So something doesn't quite match up, although this close, you can definitely confirm that if they're anything, they're Arcantian. But it's a strange mystery. So we will leave it there with your intent to go all the way back up to the Debouche and take the pyramid to Plunger Town and find out what the heck's going on with Trefco, right?
Yes.
We gotta find Trefco.
We gotta save sad Trefco.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if Gerlad finally hit that stash and used the mortality and died, and that's why they're all sad?
That'd be great.
Well, you did.
No, we saw him.
Correct.
Yeah, we saw him up on the surface.
That's a very important thing to realize because that is a ticking clock, especially if you consider where Gerlad and Cisco were seen. And don't forget that there was someone else with them as well. So we'll leave that there. You should contemplate that, though, before you head into Plunger Town. That could affect your decision making.
Before we are done, John, can we level up Lothar again?
We'll do it. We'll do it next session. Yeah.
You have to wait.
At the top of the session. Okay, so that will do it. Thank you, everyone. You have been watching 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to join our Patreon if you want to show us a little bit of support. All of that goes right back into making the channel continue on and succeed. And thank you to all of our Patreon members for your continued support, both explorers and delvers, and especially our Conqueror level, the highest tier Patreon guys. Take it away, Matt, with those fine folk.
Awesome. I get to thank you guys. Again, so grateful to all of you. I will do my best here. I will start first with Kobrowski's, then Declan Koneski, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Dale Brady, Tom Leary, Phil, of course, Phil, G Tokyo Time, Terry Barney, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Duig, Robert Valdez, Eric Lawson, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Meolo, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Earsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Diregrew, not Matt, but not least, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. The Matts representing. You go, guys.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Conquerors, for your continued support. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
See you. Thank you, John.